Hey, happy Friday, all. So, as you know, today's an asynchronous day, all right. And essentially, it's going to be a personal reading day, but it's also going to be a day, hopefully, that a lot of you are at least beginning your personal essays, all right. Again, ideally, you'll get them in today, but realistically, I know that a lot of you won't get them in until next week sometime, which is totally fine as long as you get them into me and I have a chance to give you some feedback. The biggest reason, as I shared yesterday, I want you to get these off your plate is so you don't have anything to worry about over the weekend. All right. So that's that. Okay. Um, as I've been thinking about our work with the personal essays, so I have some thoughts that I want to share with you that hopefully will help some of you with the process that we're going through, and hopefully it'll also provide some further foundation or explanation for why I'm approaching this the way that I'm approaching it. All right. And so I'm just going to kind of quickly walk through this with you. One of the first things I want you to remember is that your audience for this is not me. Okay. Your audience for this is a college admissions officer. So please write with that in mind. All right. This is someone who doesn't know you. This is someone who will judge your character. I mean, essentially, that's the whole purpose of this personal essay as you're applying to college is because they want you to reveal your character to them. All right. And so please write with that in mind. I am not your audience here. Okay. Your general purpose, as I just talked about a moment ago, is to reveal your character regardless of the prompt you selected. Okay. Um, and so with that, I want you to make sure, because a couple of people have turned this in already, and it's occurred to me that you're making your topic more important than yourself, and this is about you. So let me walk you through this. All right, your focus should be about you. If you find that you're trying to explain about your topic too much, or you're trying to inform and explain um, in a way to help your audience understand and know your topic, you're going about this the wrong way and you're heading down the wrong path. All right. The college doesn't care about the topic that you have selected from the prompt, all right, to reveal your character. They care about your character. And so this essay should be about you. There should be a whole lot of personal pronouns in here, a lot of I's, a lot of my's, and a lot of me's. Okay. Um, and if you just simply find that you're giving a report on your topic, you're heading down the wrong path, kiddos. This is a personal essay. It has to be about you. All right. Um, Please remember that the focus of this first draft is to establish kind of focus and purpose for the entire essay. And that is what I'll be giving you feedback on. Specifically, I'll be giving you feedback on the hook you've selected. All right. I will in its ability to make a first impression. Um, the context that you have provided to generally set up what you're going to talk about, and then ultimately your thesis, which will give specific direction as to where you're going to take your reader with your writing. All right, and so that's what I will be giving you feedback on. Remember, this process is just about becoming better writers. It is ultimately not about the product at all. All right, and to support that idea, as I've said, after the first round of feedback response process, if you feel like, you know what, I'm done, Cy, then be done. All right. Um, if you're only going to do one round of responding to my feedback and then revising and resubmitting, and you want to be done, I will change your 0.7 to a 1 and you will be done. All right. And this is how we'll approach all three drafts, which will have a different focus. And so it's entirely up to you how long this lasts. Okay. After that first initial um, round in the process. But next bullet here, before you too quickly abandon this process, right, I want you to think about this for a moment, okay? If you were seniors right now and you were applying to a school that used Common App, you would have already written one of these very essays on your own, not with me. Maybe you would have somebody help you, all right? But you would largely be doing this on your own. And in a very short time, you will be doing this on your own. You're going to be seniors. And whether it's through the Common App or not, all right, as part of the application process, you are going to have to write a college admissions essay. And guess what they want to know about? They want to know about your character. All right. And you will get a prompt much like the ones that we're looking at, though they might change just a little bit. And I hope you see the importance and relevance in this. Okay. I am here to help you with this process. All right. And because this is about process, all right. As I have said, I want you to worry less about whether it's good or bad and just do what you can for now until you and I can make it better. And importantly, your grade is already done on this. You will ultimately get full credit, promise. Okay. So really the grading is done, but the learning is not. And I want you to think about that, please. And what that means, all right, as we approach this, okay, the grading is done. You will ultimately get full credit, all right? Um, it's the learning that remains. And that's where you get to decide how much you want to put into this, all right? Um, a couple of questions now, because as I've looked at these, I wonder about a couple things. This is one of my wonders. Have you followed the writing process that you submitted to me? All right. If yes, how is it going for you? And have you made any changes to it? All right. If not, why? Why haven't you followed the process? Don't you have a process? And then I wonder what you actually submitted to me then, if you actually have a process, or if you just simply put something down on the page to satisfy the ask of the task and you just turned it in. All right. Here's the deal, guys. You have to have a process. All right. And that's part of learning about becoming a better writer here is having a legit process that you try to follow until you come up with a better process. All right. It is rare that most of us can produce good writing by just doing a discovery draft. All right. And so please, please begin to think about what your writing process is. And more importantly, begin using that process and reflecting on that process and doing something with it. All right. Um, for example, how many of you brainstormed? Did you do a brainstorming activity? And why? And if you're struggling with something to write about, all right, maybe brainstorming needs to be a part of your process. I'm not trying to be preachy here. I'm just trying to show you guys that ideas are rarely accidents. They're usually things that we discovered, by digging into some kind of reflective pre-writing process. Okay. And if you need some ideas, here's a link that I provided that might give you some help with that. Okay. Um, Next question. Why did you pick the hook that you did? All right. If you don't know the answer to that question, you're probably not being very intentional and you need to be intentional about it. All right. Hooks are intentional things, as I shared with you in that first rollout video. Okay. There are intentional ways to try to make impressions on our readers. Okay. If your answer is because, well, it seemed like the easiest one, then I would have you think about this. All right. At least from my experience, easy has not always equaled effective. All right. And so think about that a little bit. And then finally, I'm done preaching here. I promise. All right. And really, my goal was not to preach. All right. My goal is just to have a real conversation with you. Take a deep breath and write. Okay. I promise the better is the worst that will happen in this process. Okay. And so with that, let's get to writing, kiddos. All right. And please, as I said at the very outset, engage this as a process to become a better writer. That is the intent behind it. I hope you see that by deed and by word, at least in terms of how you've worked with me so far on this. All right. Happy Friday. Happy writing. Please reach out if you need help. That's why I'm here.